What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Friday. We're going live again. And man, we're going to have some fun today. First of all, I love that you guys tune in on Fridays. I think it's actually really fun to get together and talk about, oh man, the reality of our business on a Friday, because everyone's tuning out. And I love the people that are leaning in, because that's when we change our businesses and our lives and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to talk today about, man, the customer for life topic. Just finished my lunch. Thank you. Some of you guys, or I did, let's just go with me. I grew up on the customer for life philosophy. By the way, real quick, I have a new mic. Check this thing out. Boop. How's the audio out there? Is it okay? If you can see me, there's a couple of you guys on LinkedIn already. Let me know how the audio sounds so I can make sure that I'm actually like coherent. And yeah, let's go back. Customer for life. I grew up on it. And my customer for life strategy when I was 23 in 2003 was a like trifold printed newsletter that I would buy in bulk. So I'd buy like 100 of them. And then I would literally use my ACT database, print out my, labels, and then just go in there and like on a Saturday and be like, boop, 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 right? And put them all through. And on the back of this generic newsletter was just my face. And I guarantee other people were buying that same newsletter and sending it out with their face, which is hysterical because like it's the same stuff, right? Like we're just sending the same thing with different faces on it. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, John. Oh, the music was coming through. Yes. I never know. I'm like, I find out after if the music played. Yeah. So that was the strategy, right? And that was customer for life. You put people into a drip, not even a drip, like a hard mail newsletter to their house. Fast forward. Man, we are not doing a good job. And I'm generalizing. If you're offended, don't get offended. I'm not talking about you. I might be talking about you. ACT database, John, that's real talk. And we do a terrible job. And let me just back it up a little bit. Today, a CRM system tends to do drip campaigns. And we like push on this like drip campaign. Dude, you don't even like getting drip campaigns. Do you know how many emails you get how many emails you get a day? Is it like 1,000? That's terrible. Do you like getting 1,000 emails a day? No. And yet you're getting them. And then you're putting your customer on them. Guys, I don't even, it's like, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for myself, for the industry. And let's break it down and talk about why. First of all, when somebody actually decides to use you as a mortgage professional for a home loan, man, they get financially naked. Like they share everything. All their credit blunders come up and they got to talk to you about it. And they got to write letters of explanations about it. Their assets, how much money they have in the bank. They have to share all that. There are people who don't even share that with their family and friends. Like, and then sometimes like the real stuff comes out, right? Like, tell me if you recognize this. Like, hey, what's that account over there that I don't know about? Oh, yeah. Can we not share that with my wife? That's my secret account. Dude, that's real. That has happened. If you have had that happen, put it in throw me a comment right there, because that's hysterically true, right? Like that's you are like a therapist rolled up in a financial advisor for your customers. They share their deepest, darkest hopes and dreams with you through the process. And then you execute against that and you deliver them back a fantastic mortgage experience, a great loan. Thanks, Ken. A great loan. And then what? You put them on a drip campaign. Shame on you. If I had the shame bell, I would be ringing it in your face. That's terrible, guys. That's terrible. And it happens, Ryan, happens so often. Or we just do nothing, which is equally as bad. Like we do nothing. We just like, hey, thanks for this wonderful transaction. Thanks for providing food for my family and like and all the good stuff there. And then we're like, see you later. We just ghost them. Just ghost them. Ooh, we could do so much better. There are a lot of great people talking about this topic. In one of my 100 videos in 100 days, I had a topic of your closing gifts suck. And it was the same thread of like, don't just, I mean, here's a great one. How many loan officers do you know? And if you're one of them, you can raise your hand internally. Send your customers a bottle of wine, bottle of champagne. Congratulations. Yeah. Anybody out there? Bottle of wine. Yeah, I get you. You feel me? You just sent a bottle of wine to an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic. How do you feel about that? But I didn't know. Yeah, because stop. What if they don't like alcohol? Like, oh my gosh. Guys, we got to listen so much better. We got to pay attention so much better. The customer for life mentality is super dead. It's dead. You don't want a customer for life. You want a relationship with that person for life, because relationships equal more influence and more opportunity. You feel me on this? Give me like an I feel you, Alec. This is so important to me, because these customers, these human beings in your community that you live with, we deserve to do a better job. They deserve a better job. And I'll set it up for you, right? I know so many of you are asking, doing what I'm labeling as a hopes and dreams call, where you explore with the customer what they want to achieve with their financing, and you ask all the real questions about their kids and their future, and are they going to college, and are you saving for that? And you just start diving into all like the meat of that conversation. And in that process, you have the opportunity to find, I feel you, dog. Thanks, TJ. You have the process to find what they care about. Is it a sports team? Is it their church or their charity? What are they leaning into in their life? And man, that's your opportunity to show up in a really big way, to love on those people forever. Ditch the drip campaign and commit to being better. Commit to being better. You want better results. You want more success. You want more influence. Commit to being better. And that means, like, here's a great example. How many of your customers have kids? A lot of kids, right? I have a little 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. For those people, how important are their kids to them? Man, they're so important, right? So you have the kids at names, and if you're smart and a great professional, you have the kids' birthdays. Send them a freaking birthday gift. Celebrate with those people in their life. By the way, here's another thing that some people aren't doing, which is totally insane. The people you're doing loans for, you should be adding to your social media community, your digital online community. Yes, all of them. And some of you guys do a great job on that. I feel you. You feel me. You're good. Some of you do a crappy job on that. And I'm like, why aren't you hanging out with these guys digitally for the rest of your life and sharing life together? What do you want? Do you want a customer or do you want a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Send a gift to their kids, man. Guess what they also don't care about? Their loan anniversary. Do not care. That does not hold a place in their memory. No, unless they're a weirdo, then maybe, but it does not hold a place in their brain. What is in their brain is eating pizza on the floor of their new home on the day they moved in because the furniture's not there yet. That is burned into their memory. How do you celebrate that with them on the anniversary of their move-in of their home? This is the kind of stuff. How are you being proactive? Remember the glory days of HUD ones? And every year, like around now, on tax time, you would send out the HUD ones to your customers. Remember that? Because they need it for tax purposes. And now we have CDs and blah, blah, blah. But how many of you guys are doing that these days? Some are. I was talking to a guy like last week, and he does it every year. And I'm like, dude, high five, man. That's a relationship. You're thinking about them and their needs ahead of yours, and you're leaning into it, and you're sharing that stuff with them. That's a relationship. That's epic. A drip campaign, an email video that has their name like embedded in it, shame on you. We all know that's garbage. I don't want that. Don't send that to me. But a text message about my birthday or a Facebook video sent to me on my birthday that says, I care about you. I remember how the kids, how's the dog, how's life. I see it on social, so you can engage all day. Man, that's the future. I mean, if you want to have success, I'm just going to say it. Like if you want to win, if you want to deepen relationships, because relationships beget more relationships. They're going to give you more customers, more referrals, more opportunity if you really take it seriously. And so many of us are just on to the next one, and it's embarrassing. And so don't do it. Don't do it. You with me on this? Okay. Let's kind of open it up a little bit and talk one layer deeper. I did this in one of my other lives, but it ties into the relationship for life topic, and I want to just hit it again. I feel like if we're going to be relationship builders with our customers, then there is no reason we shouldn't be relationship builders for them to help them build relationships. Here's what I mean. I said this before, but it's just the truth. So we got to go into that. Closing gifts, in my opinion, should be replaced with community engagement events. I mean, what is more beneficial or more powerful than walking in a community after you close a loan for somebody and going door to door to all the neighbors and inviting them over to a housewarming for that new person moving in and encouraging them to bring something or whatever, and just introducing yourself and your realtor that you love, and just meeting humans that live in houses. I mean, better than sitting in your office and staring at YouTube. This is, be a community builder, make relationships with these people, and then bring the community in alongside it. They're moving into a new neighborhood too. They're nervous. They don't like it. So be a relationship developer for your customer, and you'll be so shocked at the amount of reciprocity and just goodwill and karma and influence that you develop through that process. So I have to share something else that I learned from Dustin Brome in his podcast. So Dustin, you get full credit for this. Yeah, you're probably not watching, but I love you. And it was with Phil Treadwell too. So you go, okay, Phil, you made it. But I love listening to their podcast because they said they were talking about cutting boards, and I was dying laughing. It's like we have such an ego that we assume that sending a customer a cutting board with like my name, my logo, my company on it, like get over yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's tacky. It's like sending them a wine glass that has like your initials on it. It's like they don't. Why? Don't do that. Like give them a cutting board, but then like don't put yourself. Do you get my point on this? Like if you're gonna give somebody a gift, a closing gift, do it with authenticity and without like this desire to get something back from them. You know, this like, ooh, like now they'll look at my cutting board every day with my name on it and they'll be like, ooh, I remember that guy. I was dying on the whole podcast went on the same topic, the same thread, but you get it, right? Like building relationships isn't about like this like, here's a cutting board with my name on it. Now you'll remember me. Building relationships is like, hey, I know you are a chef and you're into cooking. And so I bought you these really executive knives that are pretty expensive, but man, if they're into cooking, you know how precious some knives are to like people that cook. Like that's a real thoughtful thing. That's a big difference than I give everybody a generic cutting board and a bottle of wine. I think we can do better. I think we have to do better if we want to play in the macro game. If you want to earn headspace with your customers and your community for a long time and cut through the noise of the Super Bowl commercials and the constant harassment and phone calls and the flyers coming in, happy Friday, Dad, then you've got to play a bigger game and go deeper with people. Man, Todd Duncan talks about this all the time. If you follow anything that Todd Duncan says, man, some of his stuff is all about going deeper into relationship. Yes, Leanne, it's about being thoughtful and intentional, going deeper with relationship with human beings. And referral partners, of course, is one of the things Todd teaches. But man, I'm talking about your customers right now. Don't lose the opportunity. There are about 30 people watching right now that I can tell. What do you do? What do you do as we kind of roll down here? If you're watching and share the comment on LinkedIn and on Facebook, and what do you do that you think sets you apart as a thing? Let's share it and let's be kind of communal on this, because maybe we can pick up a cool idea. Don't live in scarcity like, oh, someone's going to steal my idea. Live in abundance. We all grow by getting better together, challenge each other. I'd love to hear a comment that you guys have on what you do that you feel makes impact. And I don't care if you're in the mortgage industry or not. Some people following this are in their own careers, but you're building the same type of intentionality with your customers. I guarantee it, the same type of thing. So what are you doing that sets you apart from your community? I want you to share it in 1 or 2 comments and just fire it in there, because I really believe that if we pour into each other, we get better. And I really believe that if we're just unabashedly living in abundance, we can transform our businesses. I shared a couple examples from people that have shared with me before, from the community building events and the door knocking to the gifts that, oh, I love it, Joey. Be yourself and show humility. Yeah, man. It goes back to that cutting board thing, dude. No one wants your name on it. I mean, I don't want my friend's name on it. Like, I don't want something thoughtful and amazing and nice. And that to me transforms the space. So I'm going to wrap it down here. I appreciate you guys tuning in on a Friday. We've been hanging out for about 16, 17 minutes. I'm still looking for those comments though. Traveling with an agent. I got one from Lourdes on Facebook. I'll share this thing. Traveling with an agent to film distressed homes on site. You do that after closing. That's pretty interesting. I love the fact that you're out there in the community. And that's my whole point with developing relationships with your customer for life strategy. I don't even want to call it that anymore. Don't call it that. Relationship for life. And if you're in a relationship for somebody, you hang out with them, you talk to them, you encourage them, you're in community with them, you give thoughtfully to them without like trying to get something back, and you change your whole business. It will change your whole business. Yeah, Scott said self-serving House Happy. Yeah, there's a great service called House Happy that customers can connect to and can manage their whole living in a house experience, which is a pain, from contractors to gutter cleaners and all that stuff. I feel you. It is just, it's the game. All right. Joey says, I always ask 2 things I did well and 2 things I can do better. Oh, for the customers. That's really interesting. I wonder how many of us ask our customers what we could have done better to improve our experience. That's putting yourself out there, man. Hey, what are 2 things you think I did great? What are 2 things you think I could have done better to improve my experience? Man, that's going right into relationship, because now you're asking for direct feedback and you're not just one-siding the whole experience. I love that, Joey. Thanks for sharing. All right, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Go out with me and let's be better relationship builders in our communities with our past customers. Kill the drip campaigns. Kill them. They're terrible. Start doing real stuff for your people and make real impact. I appreciate you guys. Have a happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later.